we see a while ago the Nets getting prepared for the task at hand. It's an all-Eastern Conference matchup in today's game as the Knicks come into town for this one. The excitement of the NBA is on the way. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Doris Burke courtside. Next to me, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr in the booth. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. And as we take a look here at Brook Lopez, guys, give us some thoughts.
He's one of those guys who doesn't cool off easily. I mean, even if he's on a roll in the first half, you think maybe he'll cool off in the second after the halftime break. Not the case. I mean, he can keep it rolling the entire game.
And, he's also a tough finisher, Steve. There's very little a defender can do if he gets to within arm's length of the basket. As great as 2012 was for the Nets, in many ways, they really came up short on their last game of that calendar year. In 2012, the New Year's Eve matchup against the Spurs, the Nets only scored 5 points in the third quarter of that contest.
He'll be the Nets off the tip. Johnson, the pass to Lopez. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two. It's on Tyson Chandler. And Clark, you were talking about the Nets. They went from looking like a team that could compete for a title to a team that, while still talented, Steve, and a lot for the playoffs, was a little closer to the middle of the pack than they thought.
Well, with the hot start they got off to, I think it was just a matter of time before they hit a cold stretch. And never fun to be held to just 5 points in a quarter. And that game had a lot of Nets fans wondering how the rest of the season would go. But, hey, they got it back together and still finished off pretty well.
That's good from Lopez.
It had been almost 2 decades since the Knicks had finished atop the Atlantic Division, guys, and since the most recent alignment changes in '04, they had never finished first. But that changed last year.
And both free throws good for Lopez. Yeah, the Atlantic title had just gone between the Nets and the Celtics for the last 11 or so seasons, but finally, the Knicks were able to reach the top, and they did it in a year, Steve, where the division was loaded with good teams.
Yeah, no doubt. With the Celtics, Nets, and Knicks, pretty good, solid teams there. And I thought the Knicks had an excellent season all in all, but in New York, the expectations are high, and they want more than just an Atlantic Division title.
And so it's Brooklyn with it. Outside Williams. Johnson outside. Good, great play by Williams to set it up.
Really aggressive play, taking it to the rim against the big man.
Tell you what, I love that fearless attitude.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin, well, Jason Kidd gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. He said a big part of this game will depend on how well they can slow down Carmelo Anthony. He added with his size and shooting ability, he can score inside and out. We're going to try a couple different coverages and show him different looks over the course of the game to try to keep him off balance. And, guys, I guess we'll see how it works. Back to you.
All right, Doris. There it is, guys. That Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Brooklyn with the ball, following the score by New York. That is good.
What's interesting for me to watch with Mike Woodson as head coach in New York is the exciting floor spacing offense they started playing last season. In Atlanta, he'd been known for a grinded out isolation play style, but has actually tweaked his approach a little bit, and that's been impressive.
Here's Chandler. It's his first trip to the line.
Tyson Chandler, 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. Second free throw, no good. Nets have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Johnson kicks to Pierce. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. And back to Mike Woodson, not a flashier, high-maintenance type of personality. He keeps it on the level, and I think, Steve, the players appreciate that.
Players definitely like that. He's very quiet on the sidelines, but not afraid to get in your face when necessary. And I think that's a really good temperament for a coach to have. In general, I think he's a guy who is very well respected around the league and did an excellent job with New York a season ago.
And here is Johnson after the three-pointer from Bargnani. Johnson off the pick from Garnett. Tyson Chandler grabs the board.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Anthony dishes to Bargnani, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Bargnani's got 5 points so far.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Williams attacking. Here's Lopez, and it's blocked by Chandler. But they get it back. Johnson for 3. Another miss by Johnson.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Felton with the ball. Williams picks him up. Steps back and shoots. Felton can't get it to go.
Well, you have to get a hand into his face because that's his range right there.
Johnson against Chandler. Johnson, the pass to Lopez.
It seems for the past few years, the only time you heard about Brook Lopez's name was in what the Nets would give up for Dwight Howard. I mean, well, all of that talk goes away now, at least for a minute, because he signed that extension with the Nets. And because of that, I think he was more comfortable, and it showed in his production on the floor.
The first free throw is good. Stoudemire's checked in for Tyson Chandler. Good on both. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Outside, Felton. He kicks it to Smith. Here's Shumpert. Second shot opportunity. Brooklyn with the rebound. Now here's Williams. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Into Brook Lopez. Good, great play by Williams to set it up. There's 1:47 left to play in the first. Felton kicks to Shumpert. Back to Felton. Lets the 3 fly, and he gets it to go. Felton's got 5.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Felton against Williams. And he gets it to go from the high post.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
Here's Felton. He has 5. Smith up top. Stoudemire against Lopez. 5 to shoot. The drive by Smith. And Stoudemire with the basket on the assist by Smith. Stoudemire's got his first bucket in this one.
I'll tell you what I love about him, his ability to finish even while absorbing contact. He is so strong, even with defenders hanging all over him. He continues to finish at the basket.
Yeah, and I also love the way he can torture a defense by using the good old-fashioned pick and roll. When they execute it well, and he's on the receiving end of the pass, mark it up. It's 2 points.
Here's Felton after Joe Johnson's score. Here's Smith. And again, it's New York.
And these two teams continuing to trade blows like heavyweights in the middle of the ring.
So many times tonight, the energy in this building has gone from one way to the other.
Williams attacking, and he gets it to go. Mark and Steve, 8 lead changes now, and we're still just in the first half.
You know, both teams showing a lot of resilience, I think. Coming back and coming back, back and forth, back and forth.
Reminds me of a song.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen a game with so many lead changes this early on.
Felton dishes to Smith. There's the triple. They get the rebound. Tries again. Great D that time from Karolinko.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. Brooklyn ahead, up 1. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Nets.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
And I think another key will be, can they continue to knock down that mid-range shot? They've been very good here early.
Setting the floor for the Knicks. Bargnani is the 4 with Chandler the 5. J.R. Smith out there with Udrich, and it's World Peace at the 3 slot. And he gets it to go. Bargnani's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Knicks. Brooklyn trailing.
A big change for the Nets, who stormed up the leaderboard in the East and even had a chance at taking a very tough Atlantic Division last season. They actually were in the picture for the title until the end.
Now here's Blotch.
Tyson Chandler. That's his second personal.
The Nets shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Andre Blotch. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And he's good on the second. The Knicks shooting has been beyond great up until now. How about 57% from the field overall? And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Gentlemen, Reggie Evans is a guy who brings so much toughness to the Nets front line. Joe Johnson appreciates his hard screen, saying, quote, "I love being in a game with Reggie because he works so hard and he gets you open." Darren Williams says he's a hard worker. That's his game, just coming out and outworking guys. Talking about his terrific rebounding, Evans said, quote, "It comes from within, having heart. Some guys can jump higher than me and are more athletic than me, but you can't have any excuses. Just do what you gotta do." Guys, he finds a way.
One of the hardest working players in the league. Thank you, Doris. Here's Smith. Darren Williams picking up that last basket. Bargnani passes to Smith, takes the 3. And it's Karolinko with the rebound. And there's the call on Chandler. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. The Nets making a switch here. Garnett's checked in. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Outside Williams. Pass to Garnett. Stolen by World Peace. Right side World Peace. Right side World Peace.
Well, Meta can still give you some points when he plays, but I think his days of being an effective scorer are gone. He never really was a high percentage shooter, and now he stays right around that 40% mark.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Use that pick to get in close. Udrich has got it all tied up now for the Knicks.
Well, the pick worked really well there. Nice job taking it right to the 10 for the layup.
And for Meta, never really known for his offensive talents, but he was a reliable contributor, Clark, on the offensive end for most of his career. As you said, that seems to be in the past now.
You know, that's not to say he still can't come up with a big shot every so often, but there was a time he could be a second or third option in your offense. I think those days are in the rearview mirror.
Now more of a specialty play.
I agree.
Here's world peace. Darren Williams picking up that last basket. Chandler. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Tyson Chandler, first-time All-Star last season. His 12th season in the league. This is a guy that came right out of high school. It was a long time coming for him, but certainly that All-Star berth well-deserved.
No good on the free throw. And for Tyson Chandler, it's been a long road over the last few seasons. Steve, he's playing undoubtedly the best basketball of his career.
Yeah, key contributor on Team USA, an NBA champion with the Mavericks in 2011, and now an NBA All-Star. It's the defense, it's the understanding of his teammates and the game plan. Just a very, very smart player and a hard worker as well.
Well, guys, with the Knicks playing a space-the-floor pick-and-roll offensive scheme, I mean, Tyson Chandler is a hand-in-glove fit as the high-flying finisher inside, keeping defenses honest and then cleaning up the mess on the weak side board if shots are missed.
Good. And the Nets lead by 4. For New York, they've gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. And Udrich kicks to Anthony. Out to Smith. Chandler dishes to world peace. 5 to shoot. Smith with it. Now Garnett defender. Some nice passing by New York here. Anthony can't hit. And Clark, you talked about what Chandler has meant for this Knicks team, both on the court and in the locker room. And you wonder, you know, if Dallas, Steve, had it to do over, do you think they would have tried harder to re-sign him?
Well, I understood the plan. Dallas felt like with Dirk Nowitzki getting older, they had to save that cap room for a superstar, maybe Dwight Howard or Chris Paul. But it's always easy in hindsight when those things don't happen to say, hey, what were you doing?
Well, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, and that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Yes, guys, over that break, I was able to catch the message Mike Woodson was giving to his team. Back to fundamentals. That's what he told them. Specifically, he'd like to see them implement the pick and roll as often as possible. There was one other thing he talked to them about. He told them to move with purpose on the perimeter, use screens, and find those open outside shots. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Terry kicks to Johnson. Johnson right side. It's Pierce on the wing, covered by Smith. Lopez, no luck. Knicks trail by 4. Stoudemire setting the pick for Smith. And Shumpert kicks to Stoudemire. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
You know, with the time left, they can trade 2 for 1 here.
If they hurry.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
In my opinion, Brook Lopez, guys, quite possibly is the best scoring 7-footer in the game. I mean, he has terrific skills on the low block. And he's able to step out and knock that outside shot down from out to the three-point line.
And the first one at the line is good. And for Brook Lopez last season, Steve, almost 20 points a game, shooting over 50%.
His best season ever, Kevin. I think he's really evolved into one of the top centers in the league, a big-time elite interior threat. And as you know, that's kind of rare these days in the NBA.
The Nets making a switch here. Kirilenko's checked in, and both free throws good for Lopez. 40 seconds left to play here in the half. Felton with the ball. He's got 5. Passes it to Smith. Offline with his 3. Nets leading by 4. Terry outside. 16 seconds left in the first half. There's the pass to Lopez. The jump hook. A second chance effort, and it's good on the way up. Lopez has got the lead up to 6 now for the Nets.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the board.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
The Knicks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Well, you take a look back to last year, guys. This is a club that converted about 76% of its free throws.
First free throw is good, and Brooklyn making a change here. Both free throws good from Felton. And the first half ends in a close one. Nets lead by 4. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
I'm here with Joe Johnson. And Joe, one of the challenges with having such a deep roster like yours is figuring out everyone's roles in the system. How is the new chemistry coming together with a mix of all-star talent?
We're just trying to feel one another out. And, it's a long season. So obviously early in this young season, man, we just taking our time right now, trying to feel our way through everything, and everything else take care of itself.
There's no doubt it's a process, Joe. Thanks for the time. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. And folks, make sure to stay tuned in for halftime, and we'll be back right after that.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And a fun game going out in the borough of Brooklyn. Thanks for joining us. Brooklyn up on top against New York. They've been having their way inside. A huge lead when it comes to points in the paint, making it very hard to defend against them. The first half performance from Darren Williams, just fantastic. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? And a resilient Knicks team staying in it. And nice teamwork offensively, moving the ball around. What a great way to play. Andrea Bargnani's coming up big for them. Also getting into the mix, Raymond Felton. And that'll be it for us here. Thanks so much for joining me. Now it's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. We hope to see you around next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we return, sunset view of the Brooklyn Bridge spanning the East River. Man, is that pretty.
Tell you what, I think the Knicks need to change their strategy against Lopez.
10 points, and he's hit 6 shots from the charity stripe, contributing to their offense.
Well, the NBA game is all about finding easy points, either layups or free throws. So those points could come in handy here today.
The front court trio of Pierce, Garnett, and Brook Lopez. Darren Williams and Joe Johnson at the 1 and 2. So that's the Nets 5. In transition, here come the Nets. Williams is running. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You look at the Joe Johnson trade for the Nets. They picked up his max contract from the Hawks, committing $80 million over 4 years. But last season, his lowest point output in over a decade, a down season overall. But hey, there's a lot of talent on this team. He's not expected to score as much anymore.
And he can't get the first one. And for the Nets, they started the season doing some of that isolation offensively for Joe Johnson that we saw in Atlanta, Clark.
And even with the most efficient individual scorers, that's not usually the way to go offensively over the long haul. With Joe going through a bit of a lull in terms of his shooting percentages, I thought they might have been better served to anchor the offense around Brook Lopez inside. You know, after losing Jeremy Lin going into last season, guys, I think some fans were concerned that the team might slip back to isolation basketball and their offense would stagnate, but instead they flourished as a three-point shooting team.
Garnett against Bargnani. Anthony, count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Anthony's got the first points of the second half here for New York. And back to the Knicks personnel moves, you got to give them a lot of credit going out and finding shooters and defenders and Steve, playmakers to surround their star players with.
Yeah, they ended up with Bargnani, putting him at the kind of the shooting 4 spot, adding another three-point threat. The Knicks are always going to be aggressive personnel-wise. This was already a good team, second best record in the East, but you know they're looking to get better.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, as you know, Jason Kidd has always been perceptive, and when he retired from playing, he said his thought process went like this. All right, let's take a look at your resume, Jason. You have no financial background. You have basketball. That's what you have for your whole life. So next was going to be basketball. Then once he and his agent started to explore the opportunities, the coaching position with the Nets emerged, and Kidd said things moved to, quote, warp speed after that. Kevin, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, good situation for him. Thanks, Doris.
You know, one of the big things that Iman Shumpert brings to the team is his pressure defensively on the perimeter. When you have a guard like him who can go out and bother ball handlers, it can really take an opponent out of its offense.
That free throw, no good. And Shumpert had that ACL tear in the 2012 playoffs, but after missing the first month and a half, Clark, I thought he bounced back pretty well.
I'd say he did. I mean, there was some concern. His game is really predicated on his athleticism at this point, but he looked pretty good. Not a great outside shooter, but he cut his turnovers down and showed he could still elevate for some spectacular finishes and was not bad shooting the ball from the three-point line.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
They'll be disappointed not to have converted all of them, but he did get the big one to give them the lead.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
You know, it's been a while since the Nets have been one of the feared teams in the East. They had their best season since their days when they would make trips to the finals in the early 2000s. Really an excellent turnaround effort from the entire organization.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, guys, over that break, I was able to catch the message Mike Woodson was giving to his team. He thinks the use of ball screens against this defense would make a huge difference, and that's what he relayed to his players. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Williams gets the bucket. Williams has got 10 points in the game. And for the Nets, who were one of the big turnaround stories from last season, they did it by beating a team, Steve, they were supposed to in the rest of the Eastern Conference. Great record against the East.
Yeah, 36-16 against their Eastern foes, so pretty solid in that regard. You know, they decided early on that the key was they had to get home court advantage in the first round, and they set their goal and they hit it. Unfortunately, they got knocked off by Chicago in that first round.
Here's Johnson after the made shot from Tyson Chandler. Count the bucket. And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
One heck of a game. I mean, guys, this has been outstanding in terms of the effort that both sides have been able to put up.
Looking over there at Steve. He's enjoying every second of it.
Yes, me too.
Man, this has been great, guys. The fans getting their money's worth here. Both teams just playing so hard out there.
Everything working for them out of the half as they've hit 4 of their first 5 shots.
Williams kicks to Pierce. Again, the Nets for 2. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
You know, the Knicks got off to a fast start, but when you employ as many old bodies as they did last year, it's hard to sustain the level of play you need over the course of a full season. It's one reason they started to falter a bit late in the year.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Jason Kidd was saying to his team. He outlined a new set of priorities for them, the main one being to attack the basket at every opportunity. He also talked about their perimeter defense. He does not want to see anyone getting easy outside opportunities. He wants their defense to blanket those outside shooters. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
All right, Doris. And Clark, you said the Knicks did hit that lull last season right after the All-Star break into early March. Steve, when the vets saw the finish line in sight, they picked up their play and got back in it.
That's right. They won 13 games in a row late in the season, catapulting themselves back into the top tier of teams in the East, and let everyone know that they would not be exiting the playoffs early. That really was the start of that run.
Here's world peace after the made shot from Bloch. Clock at 6. Got a piece of it, and it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. For the Knicks, Stoudemire comes in for Bargnani. And J.R. Smith's subbed in for Meta World Peace.
J.R. Smith.
Knocked loose. 3 on the clock. And now in transition, here's Williams. Here we go. Terry kicks to Johnson. Now the feed to Evans. And now the Knicks on the break. Smith with it. Now defended by Bloch. Smith the pass to Udrich. Into Stoudemire. 1:46 left in the third quarter. The open shot, Williams. Here's Evans. And another shot, and the layup is good. Evans has got his first basket.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile here. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
Now here's Anthony. He feeds it to Udrich. Anthony kicks to Stoudemire. Now the dish to Smith. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Almost, but it rolls out. Nets leading by 4. Terry the pass to Evans. And there's a nice one-handed slam. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Now here's Stoudemire. New York, no good that time either.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Johnson with it. Now guarded by Udrich. Terry kicks over to Bloch. Buries it down low. Bloch has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And I'm sensing, guys, this game really starting to swing their way.
To me, it seems like they're taking charge as their lead gets more and more comfortable.
Anthony, it's good. This time the assist from Udrich. 6 points for Carmelo Anthony.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
Terry dishes to Williams. Williams gets a screen from Evans. Williams passes to Evans. Feeds to Bloch. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
I'd like to know what his percentage is from that range. I mean, it's got to be sky high.
The Knicks making a switch here. This will be his 3rd free throw shot of the game. The free throw off from Bloch. From deep three-point range, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? Brooklyn ahead. They're up by 8. And we're just moments away from the start of the 4th quarter. Stay with us. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Well, with this assist, he shows you just what a well-rounded guard he really is. Kind of a combo guard, even though he's listed as a shooting guard. Really a diverse offensive skill set.
We're almost seeing more of that, aren't we? It's like guys that have point guard skills who can play both those positions.
Yeah, for sure.
Nets leading by 8. And on the floor for New York here in the 4th. The guards, Ray Felton and J.R. Smith. Bargnani is the 4 with Chandler the 5. And it's Anthony in at the 3. Now here is Kirilenko. Lock at 6. Pierce kicks to Williams. The 3. Chandler with the rebound. Chandler's got 4 rebounds in this game. J.R. Smith on the wing. Felton attacking. Here's Anthony. Cans the shot from the wing. Anthony's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for New York.
He's a natural scorer. It's that simple. Supreme confidence offensively. Can beat you from the three-point line. He can get you going to the hole. Offensive putbacks. Beautiful mid-range game as well.
And he's not a standstill shooter only. I mean, he's a terrific ball handler. He's able to create space, has deceptive strength. And you talk about degree of difficulty shots, he can make those in spades. I mean, he can stop on a dime and knock it down, and he's got the full arsenal offensively. And you know what else, Steve? Watching him run the pick and roll is like watching poetry in motion. I mean, this guy has that basic play down pat. He's unstoppable when he runs it.
Here's Chandler after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony. Out to Smith. New York needs to get off a shot. Felton can't get it to go. Brooklyn leading by 6. It's Pierce with the drive. A terrific shot on the turnaround.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. And with the 4th quarter push coming up here, the coach going over the game plan and these players rehydrating themselves with Gatorade, recharging their bodies, refocusing their minds, and getting that strategy down to close out the game. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thanks, Kev. Mike Woodson had some words for his team over that last break. He doesn't think they've been giving it their all, saying they've been quicker to rebounds, to every loose ball. We got to wake up. The game's slipping away, and we're letting it happen. We have got to take control of this thing. We'll see if he lit a fire under them, guys.
Well, as far as the defense goes, Clark, that is not what's going to keep them in this lead.
Yeah, but from the other perspective, you can see just how much that dunk pumped those players up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I sense a little bit of a momentum shift here.
Here's Johnson. The Knicks making the shot. Lopez. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson. Johnson's got 3 assists now in this one. Knicks trail by 8. Now Felton. Dishes to Smith. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
J.R. Smith, last season's 6th man of the year, averaging 18 points per game off the bench for the Knicks. What a fantastic season.
And for J.R. Smith, the New Jersey native, right at home, Clark playing for the Knicks.
And you knew he had the talent to be special. He just had to put it all together and had a big season. The first player since '90 to come off the bench and score 30 or more in 3 straight games, Kevin. He's simply a bucket maker.
The free throw drops for Smith.
This is the 2nd season for the Nets here in Brooklyn. It's amazing how quickly they've made themselves a part of this community. They've tried to capture some of that history from sports in the past. In fact, they have the flagpole from the old Ebbets Field right outside the Barclays Center. Kind of a cool historical connection.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the strike. And for the Nets, you notice that unlike most teams with their jerseys, whether they're on the road or at home, it's Brooklyn across their chest.
I think that represents them representing the borough, Kevin, and looking to establish a new identity. And even if you aren't a big Nets fan, for Brooklynites, it's easy to throw on a black and white sweater or jersey with Brooklyn across the front of it.
Now Felton after the missed three from Joe Johnson. Smith missing again. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Williams gets a screen from Lopez. A floater. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. Chandler's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Pass to Smith. Fires for 3, and the shot is good.
Well, they have been terrific from beyond the arc here in the second half. You look at the percentages. Good number.
Just what the pharmacist prescribed. Those 3-point bombs will erase the deficit quickly if they keep it up.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. Shumpert is checked in for New York. Nets leading by 4. Outside Williams. Lopez, a screen on Felton. Williams kicks to Lopez. It's rebounded by New York. Chandler's got 7 rebounds in the game. Deep 2 from Anthony, and the Knicks getting another bucket right there.
This is a fantastic performance in this half. He didn't play as well in the first, but you just know with this guy, he's always ready to turn it around.
Now here's Williams. Johnson dishes to Williams. Kicks it to Lopez. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Tyson Chandler.
So far, he hasn't been able to get to the line like he did in the first. The defense is playing him a little bit smarter, backing off of him a bit and defending without fouling.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for Brooklyn?
Well, they're taking high percentage shots in the paint. I like the way their offense is clicking.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
First one falls for him. Lopez hits them both.
Well, you just knew he wasn't going to miss there. Not with so much riding on him.
Pass to Bargnani. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
He used that pick to perfection. And it's 6 points for Joe Johnson.
He's had an off game thus far, but his team has been able to pick up the slack and find a way to get it done here.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They're behind by 4. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth quarter of this one. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth. Kicks it out to Bargnani. He dishes it to Carmelo. He's feeling it, and that one swishes right in. Anthony's got 12 points in just the second half.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but their cutting, their movement together as a unit that's led to that.
Timeout called the Nets. They're ahead by 2. 1:42 left in the fourth. Pierce, the pass to Williams. Right side, Williams. Garnett kicks to Williams. Johnson outside. Poke loose. 6 to shoot. Out of bounds. New York takes possession.
6 seconds.
New York's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Felton against Williams. Felton kicks to Chandler. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. Chandler's got the game tied up here for New York. The Nets have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. And Williams, here we go, and he gets it to go.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
1:06 left in the fourth quarter. Over to the wing. Bargnani dishes to Felton. Chandler, the pass to Felton. Back to Chandler. 6 on the shot clock. Good D by Lopez. For Brooklyn, they've gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Pierce kicks to Johnson. Lopez sets a screen for Johnson. Excellent D there from Anthony. Knicks have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. It's good. This game is all even.
Oh, what a clutch shot. That could be the difference maker.
Big moment in this game.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. The score is knotted at 59. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth. Pierce dishes to Garnett. Here's Lopez. Good.
Big bucket. He's got to play for a stop here with the 2-point lead. No open three.
New York calls timeout. They're losing by 2. There's 18 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
Well, we'll see what they come up with. Plenty of time. If they execute, they should be able to get a good look here.
I agree with you, Steve, but I'd like to see him pound it inside and try to get to the rim.
There's 18 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Felton the pass to Chandler. Johnson against Shumpert. Back to Chandler. Lopez with the steal. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Smart foul there. You've got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
That's his first personal foul, third team foul. At the line for your Nets, Darren Williams. At the line for 2.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail-biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, we have Brooke Lopez with us. Tell us about the energy out there tonight. It seemed like there was a ton of intensity on the floor.
You know, the crowd brought so much energy. You know, it's Brooklyn energy. The noise in the building was fantastic. You know, and we just need more of that in the season.
Brooke, thank you very much. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. And folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, Deron Williams.